So my name is Alex, Alexander Maradiaga. I'm 29 years old. I was born and raised in Orange County. I grew up with my both parents. I would say that growing up, I think that I was always dealing with just trauma from my mom and my dad. My dad was like a cheater. I think that that was something that kind of set the tone for me growing up, because there was a lot of abuse in the house. And I think I kind of grew up scared, I grew up a little bit scared. And I didn't really know what I was good at. I really wasn't really good at anything. I had a hard time really listening to people. I had a hard time dealing with correction. I had a hard time with really everything. But I was into the party scene. I was into different scenes. But ultimately, took a trip out to New York and came back with an addiction. I think in the beginning of it, I thought it was something that would just happen maybe once or the weekend or something, but I think it became more like a lifestyle. It became something that I really needed in my life. But I think that the progression happened. First it was alcohol, and then it was from alcohol to cocaine, and from the cocaine then it became pills, and from the pills then it just became meth, heroin, and of course eventually just start being I would say just an IV user. If that's even possible to have some type of morals while using drugs, some type of values, but eventually I feel like they went out the window. They weren't really there anymore. And at 17, mom and dad's house got raided. My parents booed me out of the house, and it was something that obviously led me down on the street. And so I ended up in Santa Ana. I ended up on the streets, and in the beginning I didn't know really how to feed my habit. I had to figure out ways to feed my habit, and ended up in trap homes, abandoned homes, and I'm really just roaming the street, not sleeping. Ended up in jail, going in psychosis weeks at a time, and ODing in the hospital. And I think that that's really where it left me. It left me to losing my mom, my dad. It left me to losing my family, really, and myself. I think at the end, mostly empty. I think I wasn't really those people to promote sobriety. I didn't even really pursue it. I think I would go to jail and I'd be I'm gonna do better this time. I'm gonna be a better drug addict, But I think that eventually, I don't know, I had this epiphany one time, I seen this older dude in jail, and dude must have been 7 years old, busted, and I remember looking over and I had this gotshot epiphany, man, I'm gonna be this dude. I'm gonna be this junkie at 7 years old, at 6 years old, and at 25, I finally made the decision to try to get sober, whatever that looked like. I didn't know what that looked like, but I needed help. Early sobriety was tough for me because, I had just spent 9 years doing drugs, and all of a sudden I decided to get sober. I felt uneasy in my skin. I was the most insecure, awkward person you could imagine. I didn't know how to have a full conversation with people without sweating, just having anxiety attacks. I had no idea on how to really deal with anything without wanting to think to get higher, to use something, to have something. But I was unsure. I was unsure of if I would really be able to stay sober for the rest of my life. The idea was so impossible. It was there was no possible way that I could stay sober for the rest of my life. Man, the biggest thing I had to do was I had to surrender, and what that looked like for me was I had to put everything aside, all the bargaining chips, all the excuses, all the why I couldn't. And the number one thing, I had to learn how to listen to people. I had to learn how to take the help, and I had to learn how to ask for help. And I think the biggest thing was learn how to approach life in humility, because the truth was I had blown everything away because of the way I lived, and there's no possible way that I can actually say that I have anything to offer. I needed help, and so I think what my first year was first trying to get the most help I could. First year was one of those things where I was always unsure of everything, but the biggest things I needed to trust people that were speaking into my life. For me, it was a little approach of I wouldn't say religion, but rather a relationship with God for me, and a lot of prayer, a lot of alone time, and a lot of practice and things. And at the same time, I felt like there's a lot of failure in that first year, and I had to learn how to show myself grace in the process, because man, I can't tell you how many times I continue to fail even in that year, with myself and shortcomings, and just not reaching the expectation that I thought I was supposed to reach. But January 2021, I hit my 4-year sobriety, and today is like so different for me, because I see life through a different lens. I look at it like, man, I made it through that. Like, what else can I not make it through in life? Like, what can I not accomplish in life today? And my life today is so much better. I have my mom and my dad and my family in my life. Today I'm currently, it's my second year of college, and I'm pursuing a nursing degree, and my life today is full of goals, and but today, surprisingly enough, it's like I continue to encounter struggles each and every single day, and sometimes the struggle is just the temptation of just doing enough, of just doing what's required and just doing the least possible, because the truth is, it's not enough for me just to do enough. I need to go beyond, and that's what I've learned, like I've learned that. I've learned in life that it's like, life is a gift. Like, life is, it's a gift, and I'm grateful to be alive. Like, it's by grace that I'm here, so there's no possible way that I can go day by day and wasting it, because I've wasted such a huge part of my life that I don't want to waste anymore, and I'm just so grateful for the life that I have today, because I shouldn't be here. For some reason I am, and today, I work at a rehab. I work at a rehab with clients who have gone through the similar struggles as myself, and it's amazing to give back, and they save my life each and every single day too. They encourage me, they help me, and so I would tell that person to cling on to the people that love them, and to not push away the people like their parents who tell them not to go to those places, and to love those people who, I don't know, to love their family, to stay close to their family, their mentors, their sponsors, or just people who love them. And